Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to start it yet. Okay, well, we're just gonna sit like this. And I can't see you. Let's bring it a little closer. Okay, so now you can... Okay. In our other videos, this thing was, like, really far away. Sorry, guys. Okay. So we're just gonna, like, make a whole bunch of videos in one day to kind of get our channel started here, because we don't really know what else to do. So we're gonna have some topics here to rant about for you.
Yes.
The first one, this is mostly going to be about school, this video. School rant. There we go. I don't know what we're going to call this, but whatever.
Sorry.
The first one is homework. My question is, we go to school for like 6, 7, 8, I don't know how long, hours a day, 5 days a week. And we sit in class for like 45 minutes. You know, in certain classes, like our math class, we do like a bunch of crap in math class. I don't understand why we have to have homework. I really don't. I mean, I find it unnecessary and a burden. A burden. Because I do sports half of the school year, maybe a little more than half of the school year.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, for instance, we're writing a research paper, and I asked our teacher, I said I might not be able to have it done for you. You know, and she goes, well, why? I'm like, I have a game today. And she goes, oh, well, can you do it tomorrow? I'm like, no, I have a game tomorrow. And she's like, well, can you do it Wednesday? I'm like, no, I have practice. And she's like, oh, I don't know how you guys juggle all that. And I'm like, we don't. That's why we fail classes. Why don't you just understand, you know, that maybe you want to lighten up a little bit on the homework? You don't need to hand out like a giant wad of homework all the time just because you're too lazy to actually teach and you want us to teach ourselves.
Bam. Woo!
Okay.
Right out front.
The second topic is teachers who gave the homework. You know, let's just say you're sitting in class and you're like, seriously, do we have to have homework today? We have, like, the whole class has games. Because for us,
Wait.
there's, like, middle school, high school, and then high school boys and JV boys. So, like, everyone has a game in the same day. And you're like, I'm not going to be able to do the homework. And they're like, well, you're going to have to. Like, you actually have to do it. And then the next day, they're like, you didn't do your homework, guys? It's like, we only told you ahead of time that we weren't going to do it.
And
but
nobody does. No one. And, like, you give us maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes of classwork, and then you're like, oh, there's homework! Look on the board! And it's, like, freaking
Or when teachers think that they wrote the assignment on the board.
Oh, but they didn't.
Or posted it on Web or whatever online thing, but they actually didn't, and they're like, well, you guys just should have been smart enough to know you had homework. And it's like, that's not insulting, you bitch. Oops. Okay.
I had no part of that one.
Number 3 is having to learn more than one language.
It's America! Where apparently we fart, but speak English!
If you live in America, you don't need to know more than one language. You really don't. I mean, we're learning Spanish, and yes, it's kind of cool to be at, like, Walmart or something and hear, like, and it's like, I know what you just said. You're, like, yelling at your kid and saying you're gonna kill him. Nobody knows. Yeah, we do. But, if you live in Europe and the whole place speaks, like, different languages every, like, mile or so, yes, you might need to know a few languages. But in America, we really don't. It's, like, everybody's worst subject because nobody really gives a crap at all, and you never use it. Ever.
No, I think okay, let's say, for instance, if I were to go over
If you're going to a different country...
You speak their language.
Exactly. Like, when people, speakies or... For instance, the Korean students that come over to our school, and they walk in, and they're falling asleep all the time in class because they have no interest whatsoever because they can't understand a word anybody's saying.
And, like, I don't think the teachers, like, kind of do their best to help them because they struggle.
We're getting off on this topic now.
Yeah.
We have Korean students that come over. They don't speak English, like, at all when they come over.
It's really hard for them.
Which I'm not saying it isn't, but still, don't send your kid over to a giant country that speaks one language without
You're really
knowing the
gonna
language.
struggle.
And then, they sit there in class, and I mean, they fall asleep every class. And I mean, the teachers give them demerits all the time, and it's like, why would you give them a demerit? They're just going to fall asleep again. Well, it is their fault for not knowing English, but...
Well...
You speak English if you come to America. My Oma, she knew English better than anyone else. Even in America.
Now, if I were to go over to France, I'd speak French. Whoa. Whoa.
So, next topic. Exams. I think they're the dumbest thing ever. Ever. It just makes my brain literally, fall out my butt.
What? Yeah.
You have... you have tests and quizzes all throughout the marking period to test you on what you already know, maybe. Why do you have to have a giant test at the end, halfway through the year and at the end of the year? It just makes you want to die or cause some suicidal acts. It really does. Because you sit there studying at 3 in the morning, and I mean,
then your eyes go like this. And you get that kind of face I don't
and
know
you
what's
walk
going
in the next day and everyone's like...
Yeah, really, yeah. I was up all last night!
Taking the test and they're like...
Yeah, I can't read this. Seriously?
In my math final, at the end of last year, I got up and I, ran out of the gym. I was like... Ah! And I forgot the whole second half of the test. I was pissed. So mad. And I ran out and I got in my grandpa's car and I didn't come back.
No. I don't think I even said bye to anybody. I was
no.
I'm leaving!
The last day of school, you're supposed to, you see a movie, I'm gonna miss you. No. You just bolt. And then you text each other later, hey, I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, well.
Okay, what's the next one? Teachers that don't teach.
Oh my gosh! Ugh!
And you try to explain it to your parents and other faculty to try and fix this, and they look at you like this. What? It's yeah, I know it sounds kind of far-fetched that my teacher's not actually teaching, but I'm not lying that my teacher is not teaching.
All of us have had some of those in the past. Everybody. Even the teachers themselves.
For instance, our math teacher. He literally, we walk into class, we go over the homework.
Really? I actually like him. Yeah.
Well, we don't ever do anything. So I'm literally teaching myself, and I suck at math. So I sit there with the book, and I'm like...
I kind of knew the material before, so...
Yeah, she already, took the class. We're in basic geometry, the stupid, freaking, retarded class. And I'm, it's not that bad, because I'm not completely retarded.
And our parents are administration? You need to do something about that.
Well, we went to one of the administration people, and they're like, well... They just looked at us like, what are we supposed to do? It's like, oh, you're the president of the school. You fix it, I'm like, fire him. He's new. Fire him.
And all schools have these teachers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and it's not bad. You don't have to fire them. You just change the way they teach. I mean, maybe they could do more hands-on work. Because that's how I learn better. I'm a hands-on person. Instead of visual. I can't do that. My brain don't work that way. So, yeah. Next topic. Global warming!
No, we're talking about school.
Global warming.
We're talking about school. Shut up. What else should we say here?
Well, what's on the list?
Well, it's not all school stuff.
No, well, you know, well... Oh, whoa.
I don't know. Shut up!
Deadlines!
I don't understand.
Suck!
For our research paper for English, we have like probably about 10 deadlines for different crap that doesn't matter. It makes more sense to me to be like, write the paper, don't sound like an idiot. You know? Don't copy someone else's stuff. Write it so it's halfway interesting and not retarded. You're not misspelling everything. But don't be like, make 10 note cards, make 30 note cards, have final draft, outline, all this other crap that you don't need. It doesn't do anything for you in the long run because you still sit there at the computer and you're like...
Your fingers they twitch a lot.
Yeah. Like the next day my fingers are sitting there and they're like...
Yeah. My eyes were like... Seriously. That was my face the next day. It was done. I was like, thank you, God. Thank you so much. It was awful.
I came up with something else. Why do we have to be at school so early?
Yeah.
Why? I'd rather go to a little bit later in the afternoon. Or just shorten the school day.
I'd rather go to night school.
Exactly. I'm most awake at night.
Yeah.
Duh. I'm up anyways.
I'm nocturnal.
Yeah. I like to sleep in, because when I don't get the proper amount of sleep...
Oh my god.
I walk into school and I'm like...
Don't touch me.
Pipe the fuck down.
When I do that, when I come into school and I'm angry,
she sits there with her iPod.
I'm in a bad mood.
And she's just like...
You don't touch me. Or come and talk to me. You stay 10 feet away from me.
She'll sit there like this, with her earbuds in.
No, it's kind of more like this.
Hello, no.
Hi.
Only like...
Yeah, like that. Really angry face.
And you just like, you see it and you're like, oh, it's
And
one
you
of
know
them
what?
days.
Nobody touches me. Well.
Nope. Well, there's one girl that I'm really surprised that she hasn't just annihilated.
It's called Jesus.
Yes, Jesus is very good for this purpose.
And in general. I believe in Jesus, so if you have other religion, I really don't care.
Well, you're retarded if you don't believe in God.
No.
Yes.
No. It's offensive.
I don't care. Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed our very informational video on school and how retarded it is and how it makes you want to commit suicide.
It doesn't help that there are people there, too. Like, people are mean.
Yes, if you saw our first video on why we hate people,
what are you...
You'll understand. I don't know, I'm just trying to spice it
Make
up.
faces for the next video. The next 2 minutes. Whoa.
I'm gonna fart now.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, so we hope you enjoyed our educational video. Leave us any comments or any topics you would like us to cover.
And if it's offensive, don't write it.